So while I was digging around the world looking for some of the coolest and most affordable campers out there, I stumbled across something pretty wild coming out of China. This thing has been popping up all over social media lately, and honestly, I can see why. It's called the Changan RV, also known as the Fengjing or the Blue Whale. And at first glance, it looks like an absolute bargain for what you're getting. Depending on where you look, prices seem to start around $40,000, with some listings climbing up to about $53,000. Of course, that's before you factor in shipping, import fees, taxes, and whether your local authorities will even allow it on the road. Still, even with all that in mind, the value here is kind of hard to ignore. The Blue Whale is built on a Changan Lantuoje truck chassis, and if the name Changan rings a bell, that's because this company has been around since 1862. They started as a military supply factory and didn't get into vehicle production until 1959. Fast forward to today, and they're working with brands like Mazda and Ford. So this isn't some random startup brand. Under the hood, you're looking at a 2.0-liter gasoline engine, putting out 229 horsepower and 390 newton-meters of torque. Power goes to all four wheels, and it even comes with central and rear differential locks. On paper, that might sound a bit modest, especially when you consider this camper weighs over 3,000 kilograms dry. But for overlanding and slow, steady travel, it might be more capable than it looks. The camper shell itself is built using a mix of aluminum plates, wood, XPS foam, and what appears to be a fiberglass exterior. The cab-over design helps squeeze out as much interior space as possible, which really matters in a rig this size. Now, before we step inside, let's talk about the exterior setup, because this is where things get really impressive. This camper is clearly designed for off-grid living. You get outdoor cooking options, an exterior shower, an awning, large storage compartments, and a seriously solid electrical system. We're talking about 800 watts of solar, a lithium battery, both 12-volt and 48-volt systems, a 5-kilowatt inverter, a 3.3-kilowatt charger, and a massive 160 liters of fresh water. For a truck camper anywhere near this price, those numbers are kind of insane. Inside, there are no slide-outs, so yes, it's compact. But somehow they've managed to fit 2 sleeping areas, a kitchen, a dinette, and a full wet bath. You can enter through the side door like a typical camper, or walk straight through from the truck cab, which is always a nice feature. Up front in the cab-over section, there's a bed that looks big enough for 2 people. In the rear, there's another sleeping area that partially overlaps the dinette. Realistically, it's probably best for 1 adult or 2 people who don't mind getting very cozy. This camper is clearly designed with Asian sizing standards in mind, so everything feels a bit more compact than what many Western buyers might be used to. During the day, the main living space gives you a small dinette and an indoor kitchen across from it. Unlike the outdoor setup, this kitchen uses electric appliances and includes a range hood, decent storage, a microwave, and a fridge that cleverly separates the kitchen from the bathroom. The bathroom sits in the corner, and by extending one of the walls toward the rear bed, they've managed to create a surprisingly usable wet bath. You get a shower, a swivel toilet, a small sink, and a combo faucet that doubles as the shower head. It's simple, but it looks functional. Overall, this isn't a complicated camper, and it doesn't try to be. It's designed to work, and for a lot of nomads, it probably checks all the right boxes. You also get air conditioning, heating, control panels for the onboard systems, an entertainment setup, and even security cameras. If the pricing is legit, China is really pushing the limits of what you can get for your money. That said, one final word of caution. When buying vehicles or campers from Chinese manufacturers or platforms like Alibaba, Temu, or Made in China, details can sometimes get lost in translation. If you're seriously considering something like this, ask every question you can think of, ideally in Mandarin or with the help of a translator. Do your homework, double-check the specs, and make sure everything lines up. If you do that, you might just end up with one of the best camper deals on the planet.